Good rising, family. Let's see something real quick. Change something here. It's not letting me switch. Huh. All right. Weird. Huh. Okay. Shalom, shalom, family. Good seeing you, Ancient Gardener. Good seeing you. Thank you to the moderators for showing up. Appreciate you. Thank you. We'll play a little bit of Yada Yada 7, Psalms 121 in Hebrew, or we're waiting for more people to get the notification and come on in. Shalom, family. Good seeing you there, Jeremiah. Blessings to everyone here. I shall preserve thy going out, thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Isaiah, Yabawa'a, Mayahaw, Shah, Shemaiah, Waratiza, Yala'a, Yathan, Amawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Shashamoria, Hana, Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shashamor, Yashamala, Yahweh, Shemaria, Yahweh, Tizalia, Al, Yam Yam Yam, Hashemash, Yala'a, Hakaya, Bayawa, Mala'a, Malabana, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashemaria, Yakah, Rai, Yashemor, Nimpasha, Yahweh, Yashemor, Hamalakya, Wabaya, Ma'aitha, Ma'ai, Awalam, Amal. It's gonna, like I said, spend a little time together, family with, like I said, a lot going on. You know, getting a lot of understanding, a lot of clarification by the Most High. Watching and seeing how, you know, the Most High is playing these other nations as well, and just there's no, you know, the scriptures are jumping off the page. Today we're gonna get into a little bit of the Sibylline oracles, talking about some prophecies that's going on right now. And you're gonna see why a lot of these other books have been hidden. Like I said, it just, I mean, you just gotta kind of consider the source at all times. You know, these people have hidden all these books, hidden all this information, but then want to talk about how these pastors now are getting downloads from the Holy Spirit, and they're getting, you know, they're getting prophecies given to them about the Ukraine, about Russia, and things like that. All the while they're ignoring all of these other scriptures where the Most High has already given them ample warning about what's to come. You know, as he's given them ample warning about what is to come, and they want to ignore all that, but they want to talk about how, you know, the Holy Spirit's downloading new things to them right now. It's like all you had to do is go back to the books that have been hidden, get the correct perspective, you know, of who the scriptures are for. They refuse to do that. You know, it's not in them. And you're going to read here and you're going to hear and they're going to listen anyways in the Sibylline oracles about these people and how it's just not in them, you know. Thank you, everybody, for the moderators. Thank you for everyone showing up. You know, I said we understand that, you know, people aren't getting notified. They're not getting the notifications. Things are being manipulated. We understand that. You know, I mean, it's been going on for a very long time. You know, it's nothing new. There's no use in arguing or getting upset about it or anything like that. I said because this is the way they work. This is the way that it goes. You know, and yeah, hey, I'm sorry about that, Ancient Guardian, getting no notice. I mean, I understand. I see what's going on. You know, you got people who are talking about just nonsense, and there's never any issues. But that's okay because the Most High is going to get this information to the ones that need it, to the ones that are being prepared for what's to come. You know, I just crack up because you just see the manipulation of the society and absolutely everything. You know, um, in those last couple of videos talking about what they call now Central America and how that's where, you know, much of the information came from. And if you look, you know, you see a lot of prophecy being fulfilled here in America. As much as they're trying their best to push it over in the Ukraine, over in so-called Russia, over in the so-called Middle East, All the while, they're just ignoring the signs that are showing up here. They're ignoring all the signs that point to these lands and prophecy being fulfilled right here. We had the one in the Enoch, the book of Enoch, the keys of Enoch, and it has the Holy Spirit, the dove, covering over the United States, the return of the dove. You've got the X that is the Most High is making with the eclipse. You know, we're gonna make an X over Makanda in a couple years. You see how they are trying their best to move military equipment, funds, money, resources over into so-called Ukraine and wherever else they can. They're trying their best to get it off of these lands. They're trying their best to remove themselves off these lands. They know that their time here is very short. They understand that. But all the while, they're not telling the people why. They're not telling people why these things are going on. Exactly. Trying to transfer supplies to reestablish elsewhere, but not let the people know. Not let the people know why. You're seeing all these YouTubers admitting that things are not going to go back to normal. Before they've always had that hope. They've always had that, oh, things always go back to normal. Nothing ever happens to America. Nothing ever happens to us. Everything always goes back to normal. And all of a sudden, I was hearing more and more people talking about, yeah, man, before, 2019, things are never going back to 2019. Things are never going back. And you to see Gentiles finally admitting that. But again, they're not telling you why. They're not telling you why. They're not admitting why things are not going back to normal. The real Nagas know exactly. That's what they asked for. They want normal so bad. But they're not going back to that. Joel 2 is definitely in full effect. Exactly. Exactly. The land is being swept. And I was watching a little bit of the Exodus with Christian Bale before I started this live. And it's like I'm sure there was a whole lot going on. I said there's a whole lot going on that's of course not written in the Bible. Gotta understand who set up the Bible are not going to tell you all the stuff that was going on. They're not going to glorify their downfall. They're going to definitely give you that very weak, you know, non-alcoholic version of what was going on. They're not going to tell you about how they were getting destroyed, how they were getting torn up, how the Most High was having his way with them. They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to get into that. They're going to give you, okay, this is a story. All right. Yeah. Most High did a couple things. Yeah. But they're not going to go in depth, you know. But something that I see that you see going on today, things are just repeating, you know, things are just repeating. So you see, like, at the end of the movie, when the Pharaoh's son died, they come over uh, to Moses, and he's got his dead son, and he's like, "What is this the kind of God you serve? A killer of babies?" And I'm like, "You guys killed our babies. You killed all the certain kids that were under a certain age. You had them killed. You had them drowned. Okay, in the river because you were trying to make sure a prophecy did not get fulfilled." And so for you to say, "Oh, this is how kind of God you serve," it just shows you how cut off from reality the Gentiles always are. See, they've in their own minds they acted like they've served a God and that they've been above reproach and they've been above board, you know, that they've been righteous in their dealings with the Israelites. It's like, I guess I forgot about the fact that I drowned your kids, before, or that I did these things. I forgot about that. But to have the nerve to say, "Oh, this is the kind of God you serve," I was like, "Well, what kind of a God do you serve?" I said, "Because you have been doing those exact things and worse for thousands of years, at least the last few hundred." You see what I'm saying? So this shows you how delusional they were then and how delusional they are now. They're doing exactly the same things today. Oh, they got their Left Behind series, and the Left Behind. God wouldn't, destroy our babies. God wouldn't destroy our children. He would just rapture them all up because they're innocent in His eyes. Okay, well, what kind of God are you serving? Because our children, in our eyes, and you've been destroying our children, raping, robbing, murdering, all these things to our children. But when the tables are about to turn on your children, all of a sudden, what kind of a God do you serve that's going to kill children and babies? He allowed you to kill ours. He allowed you to do all these things to ours. So what makes you think that He's not going to do the same thing to yours? You see what I'm saying? Like, it just repeats the hypocrisy, you know, of these people is just absolutely amazing. I was like, wow. I was like, I mean, and it goes so much deeper because not only have you done all these things to us? I mean, it was bad enough that you destroyed our people, but then on top of destroying our people, you stole our heritage from us. You've stolen our history from us. You cut us off away from our power. You cut us off from our inheritance. You see what I'm saying? You've cut us off from our land. You've cut us off from knowing who we are as a people. You see what I'm saying? So it's like so not only did you destroy us physically, you've destroyed us emotionally. You've destroyed us, spiritually. You know, so that's why you see like the absolute like hypocrisy that is going on right now. I said the hypocrisy is just absolutely amazing. How they've been, how they are today. And you've taken our scriptures and you put your faces on them as if these scriptures are yours. And then you have some kind of authority to tell us which scriptures are good and which ones are bad. But once we start to read them on our own, we start to realize bad and good is a very relative term for you. Okay? Because what's bad for you, okay, is like something that exposes your lies. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's bad for you. Things that expose your lies. So it's not like it's an evil thing. It's more so like these books you can have because they're going to expose the fact that we've lied to you about absolutely everything. So therefore, these are evil. Okay. So we're going to read a little bit right now out of the Sibylline Oracles. Let me get it going real quick. Let me set this up right quick. I mean, it explains why. Quick here. Okay, good. If you have this one, this is the one we're going to read out of right now. The Old Testament Pseudepigrapha. Because it explains what we're going to read now, explains their thought processes. You know, it's going to explain their thought processes and why they're doing the things that they do right now. You don't think the Most High knew that the Gentiles were going to be totally lost at this time? You don't think the Most High knew that they were going to be totally lost and have no standing at this time? Of course he did. You don't think he's going to tell us that? You know, he was going to tell us that in the scriptures already? Let's see which one I want to start here. And I said, we even know, like I said, a lot of stuff is even in these books. I said, you know, this it's been manipulated. We understand that. You know, we understand that. We'll take the good with the bad. We'll take the meat, spit out the bones. We understand that. And see, that's what they've done is that they went in and manipulated the book so that when you do find bones inside of some of these books, you'll just throw out the whole book. Still got people talking about you read the Book of Mormon, they're racist. You know, oh, they said that black skin is a curse. I was like, so that pretty much still has kept you reading anything because of that. You're really that naive. Of course they're gonna do that kind of stuff. They're not gonna put 100% of the truth in any book. It's not in them to do it in the first place. You know. So this is on page 377. If you happen to have the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, the Sibylline Oracles, and what I'll do is I will share it. Well, I'll put it up because it's got like a whole lot of pause it. There, yeah. Cosmic Judgment. And, you know, it's got all these, you know, these connections right here. Got all these precepts over here as well. Cracking up with all these dudes talking about currency getting ready to collapse and worldwide jubilee. All of a sudden, they want jubilees. They want debt forgiveness. They want, you know, sin forgiveness. They want it as long as they get to stay on top the whole time. Sorry if it's hard to see. Maybe see if it's go back a little bit. As I get closer, it kind of gets a little more blurry. Let me read it right now. Okay. Cosmic Judgment. And God will speak with a great voice to the entire ignorant, empty minded people. Right from jump. Right from jump. And God will speak with a great voice to the entire ignorant, empty minded people. That's what we're dealing with. Ignorant, empty minded people. Most High knew that, and the Most High is already putting it right here, right from jump. So, you know, we understand what we're dealing with. That we're dealing with ignorant, empty-minded people who think that they know everything, who think that we need to be waiting. And that's part of the whole with the awakening, like thinking we need to go out and talk to everybody and give everybody this information, and it's not for them. The vast majority of the world is ignorant and empty-minded, right from jump. That's what Most High's already saying. He's the one that's going to have to, you know, open up their eyes in order to be able to see this. He's given us opportunity to see it early. But the rest of them, they're not going to hear it. They're not going to be willing to understand, willing to accept anything until the Most High starts speaking to them. So, and God will speak with a great voice to the entire ignorant, empty-minded people, and judgment will come upon them from the great God, and all will perish at the hand of the immortal. Fiery swords will fall from heaven on the earth. Torches, great gleams, will come shining into the midst of men. The all bearing earth will be shaken in those days by the hand of the immortal, and the fish in the sea, and all the wild beasts of the earth, and innumerable tribes of birds, all the souls of men, and all the sea will shudder before the face of the immortal, and there will be a terror. He will break the lofty summits of the mountains and the mounds of giants, and the dark abyss will appear to all. High ravines and lofty mountains will be full of corpses. Rocks will flow with blood, and every torrent will fill the plain. All well constructed walls of hostile men will fall to the ground, because they knew neither the law nor the judgment of the great God. See, all these people are making all these bug out areas. They're getting all their stuff set up. They got their little bases together. They got their little groups of little militias. They're gonna get everything set up. They got these countries setting up for all, to fight the Most High. He already let them know that stuff ain't gonna work. None of that stuff's gonna stand. I'm gonna destroy everything that you have set up. Now, Most High's already letting them know. Okay. All well-constructed walls of hostile men will fall to the ground, because they knew neither the law nor the judgment of the great God. But with mindless spirit, you all launch an attack and raise spears against the sanctuary. So they're going to be mindless, ignorant, lost. That's why I don't get people who say they're woke are still stuck reading only the books, only the information that these lost people, mindless people have approved. Having conversations and arguments, on their terms. Why? What have they done that makes it seem as if we need to have a debate or a discussion on their terms? They have proven the fact they have no understanding whatsoever. So why would you waste your time? Well, they said 80 books. Who said 80 books? Well, Constantine. Wasn't he a Christian? No, he wasn't a Christian. I was like, what kind of Christian? A Constantine Christian? A Gentile Christian? I said, do they have anything to do with these scriptures? Absolutely not. So why would you limit yourself to whatever it is they say? You see what I'm saying? Makes no sense whatsoever. But again, but with mindless spirit, you all launch an attack and raise spears against the sanctuary. God will judge all men by war and sword and fire and torrential rain. So you're not getting out of this. You're not getting raptured away. You're gonna have to stand up and you're gonna have to be accountable for your sins and the sins of your fathers. That's exactly what has happened to us. Okay? So again, God will judge all men by war and sword and fire and torrential rain. There will also be brimstone from heaven, and stone, and much grievous hell. Death will come upon four-footed creatures. Then they will recognize the immortal God, who judges these things. Wailing and tumult, okay, will spread throughout the boundless earth at the death of men. All the impious will bathe in blood. The earth itself will also drink of the blood of the dying. Wild beasts will be sated with flesh. God himself, the great eternal one, told me to prophesy all these things. These things will not go unfulfilled, nor is anything left unaccomplished, that he so much as puts in mind, for the Spirit of God, which knows no falsehood, is throughout the world. Now, see, this section here is referring to different scriptures. Last part was Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. It's got Ezekiel 38. You got Psalms 18. You got the oracles of Hyastaspis. Okay? I don't know if it's war. It says war. I don't know if it's war scrolls or I'm not sure exactly. But like I said, you got all Micah, you got First Enoch, you got all these books being brought together in order to give understanding. Many of these books have been, pushed to the side by the Gentiles because it tells about their demise, and they refuse to admit that they have to pay. Okay. Now, we need to get to. We hear all the time about the destruction, the destruction, the destruction, but let's hear about what the Most High is about to do for His people. Okay, because that's what the other nations are all concentrating on the destruction at all times. But let's talk about what the Most High is going to do for His people. Okay, the salvation of the elect, and this is coming from Hosea 11:1 and Wisdom of Solomon 2:13-16. But the sons of the great God will all live peacefully around the temple, rejoicing in these things, which the Creator, okay, just judge and sole ruler, will give. For he alone will shield them, standing by them magnificently, as if he had a wall of blazing fire round about. They will be free from war in towns and country. Okay, does that not sound like Joel 2? Does that not sound like how the Most High sweeps them off the land, and then the land is replenished, and the land is, um, taking care of the people, and the Most High sets up angels around our lands to protect us? I mean, it sounds a lot like that of what you're hearing going on right here. It's also in Zechariah chapter 2 and 5. I'll put it up again. Hopefully you guys can see it. I apologize if you can't. And so, you don't hear these Christian pastors break down Joel chapter 2. They're not trying to break down Joel chapter 3, because they got to get out of their comfort zone. They got to get out of just talking about, the so-called Middle East. Because there ain't no armies getting removed from the so-called Middle East right now. So let's continue. That was page 377, okay? He goes, and the hand of the Holy One will be fighting for them. So again, the Most High is going to do this fight. Most High is going to fight for us, okay? Again, and the hand of the Holy One will be fighting for them, just like he did, during the 10 plagues against Egypt, okay? And then all islands and cities will say how much the immortal loves those men. So then they're going to start to see all the other nations are then. This is a page 378. So I read page 377 first, and now on page 378, Ancient Gardener. Thank you. So the rest of the world's going to see how the Most High is standing up for his people. And that's when they're going to see, like, oh, okay, there's something special about these people. There's something special about these people, okay? How much the immortal loves those men. For everything fights on their side and helps them. I love that. For everything fights on their side and helps them. Remember Avatar? At the end, when they're coming to attack Awa, they're coming to destroy Awa, and it looks like things are at their bleakest, and all of a sudden, everything shows up to fight for them. All the animals on the land show up, start taking down, the men. Then all the birds and the flying things show up. The dragons show up and start taking out the helicopters. You think they got those ideas on their own? You don't think they knew about this information right here? You see what I'm saying? They're not coming up with this stuff on their own. They're not just these great, directors that come up with all these. They know about this. They know that the earth is about to fight for us. They know that the animals are going to fight for us. The whole world's about to see it. You see what I'm saying? The whole world's about to see it. Right now, we're telling you. You can say, nah, I don't believe that. I don't agree with you that. I don't, or to try to ignore it. That's okay, because the Most High is gonna make this a grand spectacle. He gonna make you gonna see, you gonna see how he protects his people, and how everything will fight for us. How everything fought for us before, and is gonna do it again. So why would they? Why are these books hidden? What's so bad about this information? You see what I'm saying? It's true, because you can see the vast majority of the world is mindless. Many people are now starting to admit it. Man, people, the society's not the way it used to be. People used to care for each other. People used to care for one another. You used to care for each other because you were Psalms 83 and you were working together to keep us at the bottom. That's what you guys were working. That's why y'all work together. Okay? So again, I love this part. How much the immortal loves those men. For everything fights on their side and helps them. Heaven, divinely driven, okay, sun and moon. But the all bearing earth will be shaken in those days. And that's referring to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and 5, 17 to 23 right there. Okay? They will bring forth from their mouths a delightful utterance in hymns. Come, let us all fall on the ground and entreat the immortal King, the great eternal God. So it seems like the Gentiles might be changing their tune here. You see what I'm saying? Let us send to the temple, since he alone is sovereign, and let us all ponder the law of the Most High God, who is most righteous of all throughout the earth. But we had wandered from the path of the immortal. With, here we go, mindless spirit, we revered things made by hand, idols and statues of dead men. There's your Cesare Borgia. There's your white Jesus right there. With mindless spirit, we revered things made by hand, idols and statues, okay, of dead men. That's what you guys have been doing. Not able to or not willing to accept more information, more wisdom. Still trying to fit, the Gentile breakdowns into this truth. Trying to incorporate all that into this truth. You see that? The souls of faithful men will cry out as follows. Come, let us fall on our faces throughout the people of God, and let us delight with hymns, God the begetter, throughout our homes, gathering the weapons of enemies throughout all the land, for 7 lengths of annually recurring times, light shields and long shields, helmets, many diverse arms, a large number of bows also, and an abundance of unjust weapons, for not even wood will be cut from a thicket, from the name of the fire. You see, I mean, this is the Most High. He just had me open this book up to this before I did the video today, and the Most High is giving understanding and bringing all of this together. This is how the Most High, is showing you, you know, we got to look at, yes, we're going to look at what's going to happen to the nations, but we're also going to look at the mighty works he's about to fulfill with us. How he's going to, we got all these naysayers. Keep on running your mouths. Keep on saying whatever you want to say. Keep on saying the things you want to say. Keep on saying all the BS you want to say. That's okay. Because the Most High is about to show out. The Most High is about to show out. Check this part out. It's called the exhortation to the Greeks. Exhortation. Okay, so Most High is exhorting the Greeks right here. But wretched Greece, desist from proud thoughts. You see what I'm saying? Like, you think they want this stuff out? You think now you're starting to see why this book is like, oh no, we don't accept that. Yeah, I bet you don't. Right from jump. But wretched Greeks, desist from proud thoughts. See, that's what you guys are. You guys are so proud. You think everything's got to roll through Greece. Everything's got, well, Pythagoras says this. Pliny says that. You guys have used the Greeks to elevate yourselves. And the Most High is like letting you go, like, hey, desist from your proud thoughts. Get those out of your minds. Okay? It says, entreat the great hearted mortal and take precautions. Do not send against this city your thoughtless people, which is not from the holy land of the great one. Do not disturb Camarina, for it is better undisturbed. Okay? And like I said, they're going to say, oh, well, that city's here, and that's not referring to this. I'm like, dude, we don't care about what you guys have to say. We don't care about your breakdowns. Someone was, I forgot what they said. He goes, that has nothing, Psalms 83 has nothing to do with America. I'm like, dude, I said, we don't care about your breakdown. We don't care about your opinion. You see what I'm saying? We don't care. Don't care. And that's the whole thing. I had someone who's a Christian come in and said, we're not Catholics, and there's millions of us who, there's bad things that happen to you, but bad things happen to Christians too, and and you need to know that we all go through stuff, and I'm just like, Daniel 9, read 11 and on. Talks about no one has had it as bad as Israel. Please stop trying to, put yourselves in with our suffering, because we're not those kind of Christians. Yes, you are. We're not the Christians of the past. Yes, you are, because you're always trying to belittle our suffering. You're always trying to belittle the hands you've had in our destruction. You've done it before where you wouldn't even talk about it, and you do it today why you won't even admit it. You are exactly the same as your forefathers. You will not admit who we are as a people. You will not admit that the Most High has a chosen people and that they were the ones that have been going through death and destruction. They did it in the past, okay? And they're doing it today. They're not admitting anything, okay? Because it's not in them to admit the truth. It's not in them to admit the truth. But so when they're always trying to say we're different. No, you're not. I said, how do your actions show that you're any different? You're not about restoring the Most High's chosen people. See here, these prophecies here talk about how you're going to see the truth and you're going to bow down to the Most High. So either you're going to bow down to Him now, or you're going to bow down to Him later. But trust me, you're going to bow down to the Most High. You're gonna get this work, no matter if you agree to it or not, if you accept it or not. It's this work is still coming for you. And I said, there's a whole lot more, but I'm not going to read all of this right now. I just wanted to share a little bit of it with you right now. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, we said we've been trying to tell you guys the truth and share the truth with you. Said if you want it, cool. If you don't, like I said, you're gonna get it now or later. You're gonna get exposed to it either now or later. So it doesn't matter how all this works out. I said, that's up to the Most High. He wants you to get it now or later. You're gonna get it either way. Yeah, you can definitely see that they're scared. I love that movie. I'm gonna get you, sucker. I ain't heard about that movie in a long time. Yes, they definitely are watching our every move. Uh huh. Exactly. The hand is coming down regardless, either way. Exactly. And trying to act as if we got to follow your rules and, your breakdowns of the Bible and everything else. I says, that's how you're gonna make it in heaven. How in the hell y'all gonna be telling people how to get to heaven? You guys still calling us African Americans? You still think we're from Africa? We showed you guys, the statues of the original people in Central America, or where the Mayaks were, in the Yucatan Peninsula, where all this knowledge came from, and how you guys have gone out of your way to systematically hide all this information. And but you guys are somehow in some position to say how we're supposed to be getting to heaven, when you guys are just constantly going out of your way and lying about absolutely everything. Makes no sense to the people who are still listening to them. You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense as the people who are still listening to those Gentiles at all. Like saying for sure that everything, the so-called Middle East is where everything's going to go down. But the Most High is showing you with an X, through the eclipse over a 7-year period, that some big things about to happen here in the Americas. I'm sure the Most High knows exactly what he's doing. So he's, making two lines to form an X over a 7-year period over here in the Americas. I'm sure the Most High knows exactly what he's doing. All of a sudden, we talked about a couple of years ago, Joel 2, and how the Most High is going to be sweeping these people off of our lands here. And now you're seeing it happen. You're seeing them. What did Joe Biden want to come up with another $13 billion to send over there to Ukraine like this week? Like they're just sending money every other week. Oh, we gotta give him some more money. Gotta give him some more money. Got some more money. You gotta send him some more money. You see how the Most High is exposing the nations and their lack of understanding of our scriptures. You see the fact that they're still pushing their lies all the way here at the end, and they're making absolutely no sense whatsoever. Sending money to Taiwan too, right? You see all of a sudden, people were talking about the Vatican telling everybody to get their money out of the other banks and putting them in the Vatican banks, right? So, like they're anticipating something big happening soon. We're getting to the point where, their lies are being exposed more and more. So they're going to have to be some big things the Most High is going to make them do. Every year, yeah, it's going to be worse every single year. The Watchtower, oh, really? It's working on centralizing their finances too. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of things, a lot of weird things going on, right? Yeah, I like the older version better too of the Ten Commandments. I said, but what I look for the other things that they put in these movies because there's much more to the story than what we've seen. These things are going on for years, and they're just giving us little snapshots here and there. Most High makes them bring out more understanding, more information, and more of these books, just like the story of Noah. And you got older ones, and all of a sudden you got the newer one where he's talking about fallen angels helping to build the ark, and also is that a possibility? Who knows? We don't have all the records. We don't know. You see what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot of things. I mean, Enoch was there. All of our patriarchs were all still around at that time because they live in much longer time periods. So, I said the fallen angels had a relationship where they can go and talk to Enoch. So who's to say that things like that weren't going on? We don't know. See, saying like that, they make it seem like these these angels and these spirits weren't in communication. It's like, except they're hiding so much information. We don't know. Thank you, Imsa Yasharel. Appreciate that. He said, so it's just there's so much that we don't know, so much that has been hidden. Like I said, I don't believe that the Most High is going to hold all that against us because the other nations have been hiding everything from us. That's when you hear people, oh, you're doing this. Most High is going to kill you. He gonna kill you. I'm like, but does the Most High already know that I don't have this understanding? I don't know this that the whole world is going out of their way to hide all this stuff from me. Does the Most High not going to give me like some leeway here? Exactly, he's just. But see, but that's the whole thing. They making it seem like he's not. Or haven't we already been going through getting destroyed? You see what I'm saying? Like they use that fear all the time. I was like, when are the Gentiles going to get destroyed? Oh, never. Oh, all right. Yes, because they're going to get raptured away. Right? Okay. But we get destroyed now, last few hundred years, and just continue to keep getting destroyed. Come on now. More Jacob's trouble. We're always get to go through Jacob's trouble, right? Exactly. It's looking a little bit of who was it? Paul's video talking about Iran getting ready to Russian uh, planes because Egypt was pressured to not buy them. So now they're trying to, they might step up and attack Iran earlier now because they're going to have some of the top of the line Russian, airplanes. I was like, jump, go do it. I mean, I don't know how much planning y'all need to do. Y'all been planning for years, you know. Wars and rumors of wars, exactly. He said, I don't even know. There's all these different stories coming out. That's it. If you're gonna do it, jump, go do it. Exactly. Psalms 83 they're against each other. Exactly. Talking loud and saying nothing. Exactly. That's what they've been doing for quite a while now, right? Talking loud but saying nothing. But like I said, there's a lot of other information in many of these other books. And he said, that's a big part of prophecy, the lack of understanding of the Gentiles. That's a huge part of prophecy, and that's something that you don't hear people talking about. I said because if you have to admit that the Gentiles have no understanding, then you have to like explain to people. Then why are you listening to them? Why are you allowing them to dictate what you read? Why are you allowing them to dictate the breakdowns of information? You see what I'm saying? Like, if that is a huge part of prophecy, then why would you even waste your time listening to them? And then when you do read information, just consider the source. Okay, I know that they, had their hand in it, so I need to let the spirit guide me through some of this understanding. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense, things like that. That's why it's so important for you to be studying to show yourself approved. No, Sharon, I haven't been able to watch that video yet. Sorry about that. I said we have to listen to the spirit. The spirit will lead us into truth, but we have to be willing to listen to the spirit and and also to get understanding. Just understand that hey, there's going to be bones and things, and it's going to be things we're going to have to read and try our best to understand. And sometimes you got to put books down, information down, and walk away and come back. Listen to our spirit. We got spirit guides that come in and give us understanding and give us direction as well. So we got a lot of different things at our disposal. It's not just books, you know. So we got the Spirit, we got the Holy Spirit, we got our angels, we got people that'll be brought into our lives to give us direction. I said so. There's a lot going on, a lot going on. But thank you, family, for showing up, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and all praise the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is